everybody. Welcome, welcome. So we got a few minutes before probably more people will start coming. There we go. We usually get a few people coming in up till about 5 minutes after class or after 7. So I'll just introduce myself. I'm Jess. I am a yoga therapist. I specialize in working with pregnant, postpartum people. I also specialize in reproductive wellness. So anything from menstruation through perimenopause and menopause, I'm your girl. I work a lot with people who have pelvic floor disorders and dysfunction, as well as just becoming aware of your body as you move through what's called matrescence, coming into motherhood or coming into parenthood if you don't identify as a female, as a mother. So it's really good to see all of y'all here. For class today, go ahead and make sure you have a yoga mat or a rug that you're going to practice on. It doesn't have to be a yoga mat. And make sure you have a pillow. So I usually like to use the pillows that the decorative pillows from my bed, but you might use just a regular pillow or a couch cushion. We'll use it for a couple different things throughout class. And yeah, before we kind of get started into the movement portion of class, what do you all need today? Shout out requests for muscle groups, joints, things that are going on in your physical body. Maybe you're feeling something going on within your breath or your digestive system or your energy, anything like that. Feel free to shout it out. There's yoga for whatever it is that you need support with.
I have lower back pain.
Yeah.
So something for that.
Yeah. Yeah. As baby gets bigger, everything pulls forward and it can cause some lower back pain. We'll work on some strengthening of our glutes and our core. And we'll also do some little twists that might help to relieve a little bit of that tension.
Thank you.
Let me know how you feel tomorrow. Tell me next week or message me on Instagram or something and tell me how it feels. Anybody else?
I'll be 40 weeks this week. So breath, definitely. Like I'm having a ton of contractions, Braxton Hicks here and there, some just kind of starting prodromal labor. So just kind of lengthening, I guess. That's always when you do that, it feels really good. So
yeah,
getting ready.
Yay! Congrats. I've heard I don't want to say like an old wives' tale as if it's not true. Like there's truth to it. But that like a long prodromal labor or like a long early labor usually means you have a pretty quick active labor. So
yeah, my first was really quick once it got started. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Oh, I hope that for you.
Thanks. Me too.
Yeah. That's what I hope for me for round 2 as well. My first was a very long labor. It's all good. I can do anything after that, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So lower back and some lengthening, getting breath moving a little bit, and then creating space for breath. Anything else?
Pelvic floor.
Yeah.
Which I know is your specialty, so this is perfect.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do some pelvic floor stuff for sure. I love pelvic floor stuff. It's so subtle. It'll be fun. We'll explore. All right. So let's start laying on our backs over the pillows. So you'll set up the pillows really in any way that feels good for you so that you're a little bit on an incline. If you don't like it, find another position that works for you. Something I say every class, and this class is not excluded in that, is I encourage you to do what feels right and good for your body today. So what your body needs is not always what I'm leading you in. And it's also not always what you did yesterday or what felt good for you a week ago. So do what it is that feels good in your body today, right now. There we go. So you're going to get the pillows, you're going to lay over them. Then a little extra, I got a lot of pillows. They're also really thin. And I want you to allow your arms to come out really wide so you've got some breadth across your chest. And let your palms face up toward the ceiling. For now, go ahead and let your legs just extend long so that you're really focusing on creating openness through the chest, through the pectoral muscles. Feeling grounded through your pelvis. And if you have children at home or you've had a long day in any way, go ahead and allow your body to really drop into this moment, meaning really feel what it's like to be restful here. Feeling the pillows beneath you, the floor beneath you. And if you find that your mind is wandering or your body feels fidgety or anything like that, know that that's totally normal. That's totally fine. Taking a few more moments here in restfulness. Welcome, Megan. Right now we're laying over bolsters or pillows. If you don't have any pillows, you can grab some blankets. And just letting your arms come nice and wide. We're going to spend about 5 more breaths here. And then when you're ready, you'll gently take your right hand and place it under the back of your head. Let your right elbow come wide. And if this feels comfortable, you can stay here. Or if you want to explore taking it to the next stage, you can bring your left hand behind the back of your head so that both elbows are wide. If that feels like too much, just take your left hand down and I'll let you know when to switch sides. But if you can do both, if that feels okay for your body, go ahead and try it. And as you breathe here, really focus on lifting and expanding your rib cage. So a lot of times we talk about belly breaths. And belly breaths are great for a lot of reasons. But our breath is meant to be 360 degrees of movement through our torso. So as you expand your belly, also consider pressing your ribs out to the sides and up toward the ceiling and even down into the pillows beneath you. So you get this 360 degrees of expansion. And when baby starts to take up a lot of room, like when you're 40 weeks pregnant and having prodromal labor, breathing in your side ribs and your back ribs really allows you to get extra breath in. Extra air in your body, extra oxygen and other nutrients we get from breathing into the bloodstream, into our muscles, into our tendons and ligaments, and to baby. Seeing if you can become wider with each breath in And then bring everything back to center on the exhale. If you have just your right hand behind your head, go ahead and switch sides. For class today, we're going to focus on the theme of spaciousness. So as we continue through pregnancy, we feel as though we're taking up more and more space. Our bodies are wider, fuller, more expansive, as baby becomes wider, fuller, and more expansive. But even as we and baby take up all this space, our insides have less space to work with. So noticing how those two concepts, spaciousness and spacelessness, are two sides of the same coin. Taking one more breath. Let it out your mouth. And start to release your arms overhead to the back of the room. If you notice yourself taking a back bend, gently draw the fronts of your ribs down just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just enough to feel a little engagement in your abdominals. As you breathe in, reach your arms up toward the ceiling and then all the way down by your sides. Exhale, reach your arms out to the sides like you're making a snow angel, so that they come right back overhead. Breathe in, arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, big circle, snow angel style. Yeah. Breathing in and out. Checking back in with your abdominals, letting your low ribs hug down, just so that you have a slight engagement in your abdominals. This sense of structural stability in your abdominals will help your lower back feel hopefully a little less achy. Good. And we'll go the other way, reaching your arms out by your sides and then up, breathing in and breathing out. If you find yourself yawning like I am, that just means your nervous system is coming down to a more relaxed state. If you're yawning, sighing, or swallowing, those are all signs of your body starting to relax a little bit more. One more, breathing in, breathing out. And let your arms fall by your sides in any way that feels good. Just taking a moment here to recalibrate. And then gently shifting to one side and lifting yourself up to a comfortable seat. Shift yourself all the way on your bottom. You might go ahead and take one of those pillows under your seat so that your knees are coming just a little bit lower than your hips. So you're not kind of like this with your back curled in, but you've got some nice support under your seat. And if you need to do this in a chair, if that feels better for you, go ahead and do that. Follow what your body needs. From here, take your hands to your knees and start to circle your rib cage around. And just as we were thinking about our rib cage expanding as we were laying down, think about your rib cage really pressing to all four corners here. So you're not just kind of circling right in the middle, but you really exaggerate it. Kind of like your body is a tornado, pulling and shifting. And then go the other direction. Let your breath be full. Let your arms be active here, your hips really shifting on the floor. And then gently pull back to the middle. We'll take a couple seated cat-cows, hands to your knees. Breathe in, pull your chest forward, lift your chin. Exhale, push your hands into your knees and press back. Couple more like this. Breathing in, pull forward. Exhale, push down and back. One more. Exhale. Coming right back to the middle, give your shoulders a couple of rolls. Head and neck. And ground your right hand by your right side and push the floor away from you. Let your shoulder come away from your ear. Start to reach your left fingertips by your left side and really think about getting long through your left side here. As you breathe in, lift your left arm, find a side bend and press your left ribs over to the left side. Exhale, bend your elbow and draw your elbow toward the front pocket of your hips. Breathe in, reach, extend through the left side. Exhale, pull your elbow in. Maybe feel like you're trying to put a newspaper under your armpit and squeeze it. And notice the muscles that start to turn on in your armpit. Those are called your lats. Those muscles really help your shoulder blades stay stable. Those muscles are really important for carrying baby, for holding baby while feeding them, and all those things, which you will be doing soon enough. A couple more like this. Really thinking about spaciousness through your left side. And letting your body move along with your breath. This time as you breathe in, reach your left arm all the way up. Really press into your right palm. Take an exhale here. As you breathe in again, turn your chest up, reach your left arm a little bit behind you. Stretching through your left pec, your left armpit. And then as you exhale next, draw your belly towards your right thigh, left hand forward. Breathing in, sweeping up and back, taking that little open twist. And then exhale, drawing it right back down. One more, create all this space in your front body here. And then as you exhale and draw down, create space in your back body. Let your head hang down. Your shoulders release, your jaw release. And slowly coming right back. Shoulder roll. And we'll switch sides. If you want to switch your ankles, go ahead. Left hand by your left side, push the floor away from you. Nice sturdy shoulder here. This sturdiness allows for us to create so much space over here. So breathing in, right arm reaches up, press your right ribs out to the right side. Exhale, elbow bends, pull your elbow towards the front pocket if you were wearing like jeans or slacks or something. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling that gentle engagement in your right armpit, like you're trying to squeeze a newspaper under your arm. Good, a few more like this. Really moving with your breath. So a lot of times we hear yoga teachers saying that, but what it really means is try to let your breath dictate the pace at which you move, rather than your movement dictate the pace of your breath. So check for a moment, is your breath following your movement or is your movement following your breath? It seems really simple and maybe for you it is, but for me this took a long time to really understand what it felt like. One more here. And this time as you breathe in, reaching all the way up, stay here, press even more through your left hand, reach even more through your right fingers. Take an exhale. Breathe in, turn your chest all the way up, reach your right arm back. And then exhale, bow your belly and chest over your left thigh, right palm touches the floor in front of you. Breathe in, sweep it up, big reach. And exhale, bow. Last one, big reach. Stretching out and exhale, bow. Pause here, find the space in your back body. Find the space in your jaw, your forehead. the back of your neck. And slowly come all the way up. Breathe in, reach your arms up, take a little back bend, hands scoop behind the back of your head, wide elbows, lift your heart. Shoulders come away from your ears. And feel this gentle lift in your heart space. Feel this length as if your rib cage is lifting up and out of your pelvis. And let it really be your rib cage rather than your shoulders up to your ears. One more breath. Exhale. Gently release, and we'll come to tabletop, hands and knees. So if tabletop ever feels uncomfortable, a couple options. You can always take pillows or a blanket under your knees if your knees are sensitive. If it's your wrists that are sensitive, you can take your hands onto blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, most people don't, you might take your hands to a wall and come forward like this. Or you might take them to like an ottoman or a short piece of furniture. So in your tabletop, we'll just start to take a couple hovering circles. So rotating kind of like a hawk hovering. You're just going in these nice big circles like you're moving around a clock face. You might widen your knees to make room for baby as you come back. And you might feel as you come up forward, a little bit of engagement through your abdominals. That's good. That's what we want. Go the other direction. Good, and then gently coming right back to the middle. As you breathe in, go ahead and tuck your toes under, let your hips come back. If you need to widen your knees, go for it. Now, as you breathe in, I want you to wave forward, kind of lifting your rib cage up toward the ceiling as much as is possible for you right now. And then come forward to a little knee down up dog. Doesn't have to be big, just a little one. And then come back, your hips drag you back to your heels. Breathing in, pulling your back body up toward the ceiling. Pause in your up dog for just a second and then come back like a cat. Good, so just waving through your spine. Yeah, exactly. Just creating some space in our back bodies. As our front body gets wider and bigger and heavier with baby and milk and all the things, we start to feel a lack of space in our back body. So here, this feels really nice to be able to bring that space into the back body right here. Good, just one more like this. And then untuck your toes, let your hips come to your heels, and pause in a child's pose. Maybe you take some pillows under your chest. Take a moment. Feel your breath. And begin to breathe into the backs of your rib cage. As if somebody's gently putting their palm on your back body. And as you breathe in, you're trying to put the same amount of gentle pressure back into their palm. Creating space in your body from the inside out. One more breath here. Big exhale. And slowly lift yourself up. Good. We're going to find our way into downward facing dog. Take your time. Press your hands down, tuck your toes, and start to lift your hips up and back. Now, if downward dog ever doesn't feel good for any reason, really, doesn't have to even have a reason. If it doesn't feel right today, don't do it. You can take puppy pose. You can take child's pose. You can even take your hands to the wall or a tall piece of furniture and take it like this. This can feel really good if you're having nausea or blood pressure stuff going on. This can feel really nice. So find what works for you. We'll take a couple more breaths. Maybe you find stillness. Maybe you sway and swish your hips. Take a wide breath in. A big exhale. And gently walk your hands and feet towards each other. Take your time. If this ever doesn't feel good, if your head below your heart doesn't feel right for your body, come up to halfway. Otherwise, go ahead and stay here. Widen your feet enough so that baby fits between your thighs. And you can either take your hands to opposite elbows, or maybe it feels really good to clasp your hands behind your back and reach your knuckles away from you. Find what feels good. Couple breaths here. Gently release your arms. Hands come to your shins. And very slowly walk yourself up. Be gentle. You've got about 50% more blood running through your body. So getting dizzy is a real thing. Once you're up, hands to hips and take some hip circles. Nice and wide, knees bent, like a really exaggerated hula hooper. Good, go the other way. Awesome. And very gently, you'll step to the top of your mat or the top of your space if you don't have a mat. As you breathe in, go ahead and reach all the way up. Let your arms reach up toward the ceiling. I'll scoot back a little bit. Good. You're going to clasp your hands to opposite elbows. And as you breathe in, keep your low ribs pulling down. So you can see my belly a little bit better. So pulling down rather than up and back. Just enough. It doesn't have to be a lot. So breathing in. And then as you exhale, arms come parallel to the floor, knees bend like a chair. Breathe in, lift. Thinking about getting tall rather than bending back. Exhale, elbows hover, parallel to floor, knees bend. A few more. Go ahead and make sure your feet are hips width distance apart if you haven't already. Just take a couple more of these. Finding the muscles in your shoulders, the muscles in your abdomen, and your legs and glutes, right? Thinking about spaciousness in your side bodies throughout this whole process. Last one. Exhale, pause right here. Keep your arms like this. I'm going to move to the top of my mat. You'll start to lift your left heel, just your left heel. Good. If you want to hover it off the floor and then step it back, you can, or you can slide your foot back. Coming to a plank, a lunge. This is not a plank. We don't do planks in this class, really. Bend your right knee forward. Nice. Breathe in, reach your arms up, let them go. Get a nice little back bend here. And as you exhale, reach your arms forward. Find this nice long diagonal. A breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart and bend your left knee. Breathe in, reach. Exhale, pull in. Feel length through the front of your left hip, right? Exhale. So breathing in, creating this really long space in your body. Exhale, feeling that length come right here to the front of your left hip. Couple more. Exhale. Breath in. Breath out. Last one, breathing in. Exhale, come here for just a moment. We're gonna take a nice side body bend. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Take your right hand to your left wrist and lean over to the right side. Think about expanding your left side body. One more breath. Exhale. Breathe in, lift up and open to your warrior two. Take your space, wide arms, soft shoulders here. Pressing down through your feet, take a breath in. Big sigh out your mouth. Breathe in, straighten your right leg, reach your right arm up, nice side body bend, wide right ribs. Exhale, hover your right elbow over your right thigh. If you've been to my class before, you know I love this windmill right here. It creates this great length and space on both sides of your ribs. It promotes really sturdy, strong abdominal muscles, but also our glutes. And if you've looked up really good birthing positions, if you plan on moving around during labor, you've probably seen that a lot of those positions are squats and lunges and things like that. So we're really getting our body prepared for this marathon of an event, right? And the next time you come down, go ahead and pause in your side angle. Start to take some big circles with your left arm. Nice and wide. You can start to let your chest move a little bit. So as your arm lifts up, your chest moves up. As your arm moves down, your chest pulls down. If you find yourself wobbly, it's okay. Pregnancy makes us wobbly. Go the other direction. Good. And then as you come up, lift all the way up and come right into your goddess pose. Toes turn out, knees bend, elbows bend. Good. Breathe in, come a little bit lower. Let your inner thighs widen, your belly widen, your pelvic floor widen. This whole front part gets bigger. And as you exhale, lift up tall. Imagine a zipper pulling everything in and up. And then breathe in, get wide and soft. Exhale, zipper, pull it all to the middle. Belly button hugs up, baby hugs up. Breathe in, create that space. And then exhale, pull everything right back to the middle. Breathe in, wide open. Exhale, pull it all together. 3 more. I like to exhale out my mouth. That helps me to feel a little bit more forceful. If that feels right for you, you can do it too. And next time you come down, go ahead and stay. Bring your hands to your thighs and start to lean forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop one shoulder, twist. Breathe into the middle. Exhale, other shoulder twist. One more each side, breath in, breath out. Come to the middle, turn your toes in, and find a wide-legged forward fold. Shake out your head, shoulders, hips. Take a sigh. And let your upper body hang down. Let your head relax, your shoulders relax.
I see.
Taking a little bend through your knees. Take one more breath here. A big sigh. As you breathe in, start to lift up about halfway. Turn your right toes forward and start to walk your hands inside your right foot. Your left foot just steps up and out so that your left toes point forward and your right toes point forward. You can take a little bend in your right knee. Let your belly come on the inside of your right thigh. I'll turn a little bit so you can see me a little better. This is called pyramid pose. Just let your body hang down. Start to shift your hips so that your butt kind of reaches to the right and you're stretching your left side. And then let your butt come back to the middle. You just kind of like you're wagging your tail. Just finding some space there. Some space in the bottom of your pelvis. Some space in your belly. Good. And then start to lift your left heel and drop your left knee to the floor. Coming to a low lunge. Start to circle your pelvis around. Nice big stirs. Then go the other way. Coming right back to center. I like to tuck my left toes under to feel a little more sturdy. You can tuck them if you want. Walk your hands up to your right thigh. Have about 90 degrees in both knees and start to push down through your left knee so you're not kind of dumping forward, which is totally fine when you're living everyday life, but for the purpose of this movement, push down. Feel your baby hug up to your heart. Press down through your right foot and feel everything kind of draw up. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Right hand to left wrist, lean over to the right side. You might feel a little bit wobbly here. That's totally normal. We're bringing a nice stretch through the left side, creating some space here and in the front of the left hip. One more breath. Exhale. Gently coming all the way back. Hands come down to the floor, right inside your right foot, and lift your left knee. Get really high in your heel and in your pelvis, and then bend your right knee forward to get long. Take a moment here, press your hands down into the floor, taking a breath. And slowly lower your left knee, right knee meets left. And we'll take a couple of those waves that we took at the beginning of class. Knees wide, hips to heels. Breathe in, wide back body. And then exhale, hips come back. Couple of these. One more. And then slowly find your way to downward facing dog. Take your time, shift your hips. If down dog doesn't work for you, take one of those other poses we talked about. There's no right way to do this class. Even if you wanted to lay down the whole time, that is totally worthwhile. When I used to teach prenatal yoga in person, because that used to be a thing, everybody. Sometimes people would come and they would rest and lay down for a good portion of the class. And that's totally fine. Take one more breath here. Big exhale. Walk your hands and feet towards each other. Find a forward fold of your choice, a little bend in your knees, belly between your thighs, shake out your head, clasp arms in any way that feels good. Maybe you let them hang. One more breath. Slowly come all the way up. Really take your time. Want you to not get dizzy. Once you're to the top, hands to hips, big hip circles. Nice and wide. Other way. Good. Coming right back to the top of your mat. I'm switching sides so that I can stay facing y'all. Breathe in, reach your arms up, hands to opposite elbows, shoulders away from your ears. Breath in, think about getting tall as opposed to a back bend. And exhale, arms come parallel to the floor, chair pose. A couple more like this, breathing in, breathing out. One more breath in, getting tall. Exhale, come down. Keep your arms how they are. Hover your right heel. Maybe you stay here, maybe you lift your right foot. Step or slide your right foot back. Find your high lunge, breath in, reach up. And exhale, lean forward. Shoulders away from your ears. Take a little bend in your elbows to help with that. Exhale, hands to heart. Bend your right knee. Breathe in, reach. Exhale, come back. Thinking about length through the front of your right hip the whole time. Couple more. Good. Breathing in and out. Last one, breath in. Exhale, open to your warrior two. Come right into it. Find your feet, adjust yourself as you need. If your elbows or if your shoulders are up by your ears, bend your elbows, drop it down. I know for me, I tend to inch my shoulders up by your ears. Go ahead and let them relax a little bit. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, breathing in, straighten your left leg, reach your left arm up. Wide left ribs. Exhale, hover your left elbow, long right side. Finding space in your side bodies here, helping you to have a little bit more breath. So I was explaining to somebody earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, that we have all of this relaxin running through our bodies. It's the hormone that creates laxity in our muscles and all of the connective tissues. So ligaments, tendons, even our bones have those connective tissues. And so when we have all of that extra laxity, we actually have more capacity to expand our ribs as we breathe. So there is more space to breathe if we are able to tap into that. One more, and then exhale, come down. Stay here. Settle into your feet, your belly, and start to circle your right arm. Nice big helicopter circles. Take up space. And let your chest start to move with your arm. So it lifts up when your right arm goes up and comes down when your arm comes down. Good. Switching directions. Nice. And then lift all the way up, come right into your goddess. You know where we're going with this. We're going to add something to our lifts and lowers. So as you breathe in, wide belly, wide pelvic floor, wide inner thighs, imagine that your feet are trying to slide apart from each other, like they're what's that movie with Tom Cruise where he slides on the floor in his socks? Imagine your feet are trying to slide away from each other here. Feel something a little different, right? And then when you exhale and lift, imagine your feet are trying to slide inward and feel this engagement here. Breathe in, come down, slide your feet apart. Exhale, imagine they're sliding together. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, breathing in, taking up space. Exhale, pulling all that space right back to the middle. Couple more. Last one. Inhale, come all the way down. We'll find that shoulder twist. Drop one shoulder. And then the other. Good, one more each side. And then turn your feet parallel, find a forward fold. A little bend in your knees. And bring your hands to the back of your head. Allow your chin to come to your throat. And then turn your chin from collarbone to collarbone. Should get a nice little stretch along the back of your neck. One more breath here. A breath out. Look to your left foot and start to turn your left foot forward. Hands come on the inside of your left foot and step your right foot out so that your toes, not your fingers, your toes point forward, finding your pyramid pose again. Your chest and belly are on the inside of your left leg. And let your chest drape down, head relax. Maybe you bend a little bit in your left knee and start to roll your hips side to side. Taking a couple little movements here, creating space in the tops of your hamstrings and the base of your pelvis. Come right back to center and start to lift your right heel and drop your right knee down to the floor. Take some hip circles here. Nice rolls with your pelvis. And the other way. Good. Once you're back to center, walking your hands up to your left thigh. Find 90 degrees in both knees. And take a moment, let your belly hang forward, your butt kind of hang back. And then push down through your right knee. And feel how everything pulls back. And just notice that difference. Pushing down through your right knee. Feel that nice stretch through the front of your right hip. Breathe in, reach up. Left hand to your right wrist. Lean over to the left side. Nice wide right side. Breath creates space inside of your body. And then coming right back to center, lower your hands inside of your left foot, step your left knee back. We'll come right back to tabletop. Take a couple of cat-cows, breathe in, tailbone up, chest forward. Exhale, tailbone down, chest down. Couple more. Good, coming right back to the middle. We'll do a couple abdominal exercises. So tuck your toes under, widen your fingers, and take a moment to press your chest away from the floor. So you're not hanging down, but your chest is buoyant. And then hug your baby up to your heart. So you've got this sturdy central column, this sturdy torso. This stability really is crucial for your pelvic floor. So even if it feels challenging to do right now, do it at least, 50% effort, 30% effort. It doesn't have to, look like mine. I'm not pregnant. So take that into consideration. Tuck your toes under and push the floor away from you with your knees, with your feet, with your hands. And if you feel like it, you don't have to. Maybe you start to hover your knees just an inch off the floor. Maybe even for a second. Breathe into your side ribs, your back ribs. Lower down if you're lifted. Take a breath in. Cat pose, cow pose, Exhale. Cat. One more. Exhale. Come right back to middle. Chest is buoyant. Baby hugs up to heart. Press down through your hands and your knees and your feet. Maybe you hover your knees. Maybe you start to imagine like you're squeezing a block between your inner thighs, or like your knees are magnetized, kind of like when we were doing the goddess lifts. One more breath. Gently lower your knees wide, find a child's pose. You can always take a pillow under your chest. Take some sighs. You can even tuck your arms and elbows underneath your chest. Sometimes that feels really good, nice and cozy. Couple breaths here. Check in with your heart rate, the expansion of your inhale. Take a big sigh and slowly Shift up to hands and knees one more time. Nice. We're going to do some glute work. Start to extend your right foot back. Let your right toes connect to the floor. Buoyancy in your chest. Baby hugs up to heart. Engage your right glute and start to lift your right leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, right knee towards your right elbow. They don't have to touch, just making its way. Breathe in, reach it back. Feel your right glute, good. Pull it in. Just a couple like this. If you want to move your left arm, this is called a bird dog. You can extend your left arm and bend it in toward your waist. So check in with what feels good. You can also come onto your left fingertips out to the left corner of your mat to make it a little more challenging to balance, but not as challenging as lifting your arm. To be honest, I like being right here. Good, one more lift, one more bend. And then reach your right leg back, tap your toes down, we'll open to a side plank. Reach your right arm up. Breathe in, right arm by your right ear, stretch your right side body. Exhale, bend the elbow, put it in your pocket. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wonderful. Coming all the way back to tabletop. And step your left foot back. Press your hands into the floor, find that buoyancy. Baby hugs up to heart. Engage your left glute and then lift your left leg. Take a breath in, get a little longer, a little wider, a little more spacious. And exhale, left knee toward your left elbow. Breathe in, reach back. Exhale, pull it in. If you find a little bit of a clicking sound or a snapping sensation across the front of your hip, all that is muscle and ligaments and tendons moving over the front of your hip bone, of your pelvis. And it's just making that sound. It's not bad or anything. Might be a bit uncomfortable. If it's painful, that's a totally different thing. And take a break. If you want to move your right arm, you can. And go ahead and extend one more time. Tap your left toes to the ground. Open up to your side plank on this side. Breathe in, left arm reaches up, wide left side. Exhale, cactus your elbow, put it in your pocket. Breathing in and breathing out. One more. And gently come all the way down. Tuck your toes and sit your hips back on your heels. Take some rolls with your wrists. If your heels or ankles are uncomfortable here, you can always take a pillow under your shins and untuck your toes. That might feel better. Good. Come up onto your knees. Press down through your knees. Feel baby hug up to heart. Bring your hands to your hips, shoulders down and back, and start to squeeze your elbows towards each other. Press down a little more through your knees and start to lift your chest. So think about chest lifting and expanding rather than like coming all the way back down. We want to focus on the chest, the shoulders, the back body, getting stronger. One more breath. Big sigh. And come right back to center. Go ahead and find a seat. You can take your bottom to a blanket, a pillow, whatever you did last time. And you'll start to wrap your arms around to your shoulders. Your fingers come towards your shoulder blades and start to pull your shoulder blades apart. So I'll show you from behind. Wrapping arms around, connect to shoulder blades, and start to pull them away from your spine. As you do this, go ahead and tuck your chin to the little nook in your elbows. Kind of bury your chin in there. And let your elbows get heavier. Let the front of your chest start to curl over, baby. Shoulders are away from ears. And like we've been practicing all class, see if you can find your breath coming into your back rib cage all the way up to that space between your shoulder blades. That space that you just created by pulling your shoulder blades apart. Create even more space by breathing into that spot. One more breath here. Gently release your arms. Coming back to center, taking a moment if you need it. That's one of my favorite stretches to do. I hope you enjoyed it. And go ahead and start to extend your right leg. Bring your left foot towards the inner thigh. You might even take this shape out to the side a little bit, especially if you're later on in pregnancy, so that there's more space here for baby. Take a breath in, get nice and tall, and exhale, bow forward. Take your time. Soft elbows. Soft elbows lead to soft shoulders. Let your upper body drape down. Soft belly. Practice breathing into your back for 2 more breaths. Gently walk your hands back. Ground your left hand behind you and start to lift up your right arm. Maybe you stay here, maybe you bring your hand behind your head, or maybe you start to lift your hips. Wherever you are, take a breath. And then exhale, slowly come down. Switching sides. Taking a breath, getting tall, and then exhale, fall forward. Upper body drapes down and in. One more breath here. Take an exhale. Walk your hands back to your body. Let your right hand come behind your right hip. Breathing in, reaching your left arm up, maybe scooping hand behind your head, or maybe lifting your hips. Finding space wherever you are. One more breath. And then exhale, gently lower. We'll take one more stretch. You can either take your legs wide and fall over the center, or maybe you bend your knees, soles of the feet come together and fold here. So find which one feels right for you. And go ahead and do that. Take about 8 breaths. As you're here, maybe you start to notice places in your body that are holding on to tension or kind of waiting, and they become a little tight or engaged or contracted. So the places that are holding, see if you can invite them with your breath to become more spacious. Sometimes when we tell our bodies to relax, our bodies aren't able to do that because they don't even know how in that moment. So being gentle, inviting space might be something that your body is capable of in those moments that it feels hard or impossible to relax. And finding space is also something that can be done gradually. When we're told or tell ourselves to relax, we usually mean to relax at 100%. We can find slowly walk your hands back to your body. Nice. We are going to find our way into Shavasana, our final relaxation. So if you want to end class in the same way we started, you can do that, laying over the pillows. Maybe you want to lay on your side. Maybe you want to lay a different way. So find what feels really comfortable, what feels restorative and rejuvenating for your body. And go ahead and do that. Take your time. There's no rush here, no rush in this class. Getting settled in. Getting cozy. And start to sigh. Flutter your lips or take a swallow, yawn. Inviting your body to become a little bit more spacious from the inside out, from the muscles to all the way to your skin. As you settle into this deep rest, I invite you to contemplate this notion of space. There is a goddess called Bhuvanaswari, and this goddess represents space. Space is the mother and matrix in which all creatures come into being. Space is the field in which all things grow. She is the receptive spirit who gives space to allow all things their space and place and function. She is the cosmic womb that gives birth to all of the worlds. Slowly beginning to widen your breath. Expanding your inhales. Lengthening your exhales. Bringing gentle movements back into your body. And when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat. Bringing your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your womb, and bow your head to both of them. To this space you've created in your body, in your life, to bring your baby into this world. Bringing a breath into the center of you and giving it back. Breathing in, reaching your arms all the way up. Palms come to touch. Exhale, thumb to forehead center. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here with me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And Jess, if I don't see you next week, I'll know where you are.
Yes, hopefully you don't. Thank you.
I'm sure you couldn't pay me money to go back to the last weeks of pregnancy.
No. So, thank you.
You're amazing. You got it. If you need anything, let me know. And I'll see y'all next week.
Thanks a lot. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jess. It was great.
Thanks, Megan. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you so much. I love your classes.
Thanks, Jen. It was good to see you.
Me too. Bye.
Bye.